quick turnaround then. Do you look at this game as an opportunity to get your season really up and running if you can get a win?
I think the short turnaround's coming at a good time. I think we've had 2 games here where we probably, and I've spoke about it after the games here, that they could have been or should have been closed off by our team, but didn't get that quite nailed. We need to learn off those, and then as I said before, a good short turnaround, obviously at home, and you know, working on those areas there that would enable us to get those points.
Is that the key message to the players this week, to cut out the errors and to see games out?
Yeah, look, I mentioned that our errors and a little bit of discipline there just allowed the energy back into Catalan, so we've got to learn that. We have got a reasonable sort of young squad there, but they've got to learn because, as I said, those two weeks in a row there, we probably should have won those 2 games.
You mentioned a young squad. Does confidence and belief become affected when you're on a run without winning games? Is there a danger that you could get dragged into a relegation scrap?
I haven't. No, I'm not going to mention that, but or comment on that. But I think it's just about the team getting better week in, week out. The side each week has been you know, like full of energy. We showed that and playing some really good football. Just maintaining that for 80 minutes, and that's what we've got to do. And there's going to be patches there in the game where you are doing it tough. It's just being able to call on the areas there that we've been working hard at training and producing that on the field.
Is this going to be a transition season, do you think, for Leeds, with you coming in as a new coach? You saw it with Warrington, where it took a little while for the coach to get his methods across before they really kicked on.
Well, there's a little bit, but the transition has been made because there's obviously a new coach in charge. But again, sort of principles and coaching ideas, you know, the players have bought into it. It's just a matter of keep learning it in those different moments, and certainly not confidence, but you know, like no one likes to lose, and I know that we're not far off there to getting a win.
And Castleford and Darryl Powell, someone you know pretty well. What have
I
you
do.
done with them?
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I've said they're a very consistent team. We've had a friendly against their side. You know, obviously the clash itself, Castleford versus Leeds. That's always a big occasion, and I sort of live out sort of towards that way somewhere. But I do get a healthy reminder when I'm walking around. But no, I'm looking forward to the challenge. I think it's more about you know, backing up from last week, short turnaround, and again nailing those areas there. We've certainly got to be you know, more aggressive. So we're hoping that we see that on Thursday night.
How did Callum come through last week?
Good, strong. It's, you know, Callum's you know, last week there he looked very strong, and that was, you know, again, those couple of games there where he was in a position there of building that confidence in himself and his ability, and then he just sort of had that little bit of a setback. But he's back to where we need him to be, and he can only, for Callum and for the team, he can only just get stronger.
How concerned are you about the forwards insofar as there's no Brett Ferris, Carl Ablett's still out, and Adam Cuthbertson's out as well, Stevie Ward as well? How light are you, do you think you are at the moment?
Oh, look, I don't mind our starting pack. I don't mind the guys that are coming off the bench. The team's there. The team's there. Like I thought, you know, last week and the week before, I think we were pretty consistent in that area. So I think it's collectively with, you know, like if one individual's making a mistake, and we have several, you know, it just adds to the team there. So we've got to sort of fix up that area. So individually, we've got to be better there in control. You look, we've had a look at it. We've trained. We've got one more session to go, and as I said, I think it's coming a good time. The short turnaround.
Has Carl Ablett's injury given you more cause for concern? Well, because he's not managed to get back in, has he?
Unfortunately, we haven't seen him on the field. I know he's got, you know, he's tried a couple of times. He's just had another like a clean out operation there. So I believe it's been, that's out of my control and it's out of the team's control. I think the main concern there is making sure that Carl, is right, and then that experience would be nice to have in 4 to 6 weeks.
Is Tui back in contention this week?
He's been named in the team. We'll just have a look at final preparations tomorrow.
How did he react to not playing last week?
He's reacted the way I wanted him to. I know he's not happy, but he's obviously training and doing the things we've asked. So that's sort of something there behind closed doors. But I'm happy with his attitude.
What about Cam Smith in the night squad today?
Yeah, I think it's great. He's been like the times that he's had the opportunity there to play for Featherstone. Thought last week there, look at right back row. I know I had him in a situation. He's got a very good set of hands. He's a very good ball player, very good runner. And he had a situation there where he played in the halves. I still think he's capable of that, but I think we've spoken about it that he's probably best positioned is in the back row.
And just that international recognition for him will give him a further boost, you'd expect?
Confidence-wise, yeah. As I said, he's one of those players, just a real natural footballer. Loves playing the game, and I thought last week was a real good one for him against Catalans.
And just thinking back in the day when you were playing in Leeds Cas derbies, did you feel a different intensity in these games?
Yeah, look, I think any sort of derby there. I've been involved in a couple whilst playing over here. It's all about the hype around or outside the team. I think as a player and and obviously as a coach and your team, is that each week you want to be preparing to play big battles. So what makes it special is obviously that historically it's rivalry, and I understand that.
Those both Saints did you any favours last week, did they? Have you seen the Cas performance? Were you surprised how poor they were?
Look, I'm not. Week to week there's been some good upsets. That's the way the competition is. Obviously know that with Castleford there, with their strengths and weaknesses, and they're not going to be, again, they're going to be probably with the derby, with Darryl, we know they're going to be fired up. So it's a good opportunity for our guys there. I think it's more about us rather than them. Whatever happened last week there. We've had a look at the games, we've looked at the games before that, as most coaches do on opposition teams.
Tui was a high profile signing. How difficult a decision was it to leave him out?
It was the right decision for the team.
And Liam went well, didn't he? At 16?
Thought he did, yeah. He's a natural. He's been out. He's again. Look, his frame can feel out there. He's been very solid in that right back row. But that opportunity to play 6, which he's done most. Again, of his most of his junior career. I thought he handled the position quite well. He's solid. So I'll always make a decision what's best for the team.
You've got, I don't know if you look at stats, but you bottom of the table obviously, but you've got 3 players who are top of individual stats. I think most meters, tries and offloads. Does that show that once you do click as a team that you're going to be a force?
Well, there's areas there. I think I have had a look at the competition stats and match average. Obviously, we're pretty high in the attacking side. It's probably the defensive side that's been letting us down, and they're the areas there we've been keeping working on. But like 2 weeks ago, it was last play kicks. Last week there we had 3 tries, dummy half. We've just got to be more consistent, in particular on our try line, and it's something there that I've keep instilling in this team. That resilience on the try line. It's if you stop a try, it's just like scoring a try. We need to have that real tough mentality there, and we've got to keep working at that. We've conceded far too much points, and we need to rectify that.
You were coached by Darryl weren't you?
Yep,
2003.
203.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's obviously done a very good job at Castleford. Presumably that wouldn't surprise you at all, having seen.
No, I really enjoyed playing under Darren. We're still good mates. Obviously, when it comes to kick-off time, it's we're opposite. But no, I really enjoyed getting coached by Darryl, and we got ourselves to a Challenge Cup final. I really did. So no, we catch up, not regularly, but we've since I've been back here, we've caught up socially, just to sort of catch up, not too much footy talk.
Just on injuries, how do you know how far off Alan Cuthbertson and Dom Crosby are?
Yeah, Dom's uncertain at the moment. It's just again on the back of his appointment there with a specialist. We know with Carl, 4 to 6, and I know Carl's frustrated because it's probably the best he's looked, physique wise, but it's Cuthbo probably another week or so. Again, it's around that ankle region. I believe it's not. It's not going to be a length of time, but he'll be sort of in consideration there next week or the week after.